And a well-earned victory in taking down the defending champs.
Thunder beat the Celtics 118-112, officially clinching a playoff spot for the 12th time since 2010, the second most in the NBA in that span. So, here are three things. Number one, up front, this was a great game. High-level basketball on both ends of the floor. Fun. And it was also a battle, with the Thunder turning the tide on the defensive end after a 15-for-36 barrage from three by Boston in the first half to turn it into 5-for-27 from three in the second half for the Celtics. And as the Celtics made runs that required answers, a big one came from Kenrich Williams, who drilled a corner three with the crowd roaring after Boston had tied it with 7:51 left. Then a monster wing three from Cason Wallace to put OKC up 9 with 2:21 left, followed by another bucket from Caso a possession later. With the Thunder down some key rotation players, the depth and power of the collective was on full display on both ends of the floor. 7 players finished in double figures. Number 2, one of those players in double figures, as he pretty much always is, shocker, it was SGA, who had 34 points plus 5 rebounds and 7 assists, and especially had to earn it against a very aggressive and physical Boston defense. Of the many things that stand out about SGA, his patience throughout the game was very noticeable, picking his spots and displaying full belief in the team. Like, for obvious example here, that pass to Caso for the dagger 3. Assumption would be to think SGA would try to turn up the dial with no dub, but he played his game and just played the length of the game, combining with the other 4 on the floor to solve the game possession by possession. And after he set up those 2 big buckets by Cason, now with the defense concerned with the other options, SGA hit a wicked move to nail an extra 15-foot dagger. And number 3, Chet. Man, what a competitive beast. You could see it right from tip-off. He was dialed in, knocking down shots and locking down on the defensive end. He had 23 points plus 15 rebounds and a block, but that doesn't even come close to telling the story of his full impact. The way he switched out onto guards, taking on a ball handler at the point of attack, scrambling out to shooters everywhere, just unusual stuff for a player his size. And again, without Dub, those minutes to start the second and fourth quarters were key, with OKC leaning into the double big lineup with Hart and Chet to start the final frame. That group holding even by the time SGA checked back in. 2 more games on this Eastern road trip, next up at Detroit on Saturday.